Hey, this is Sherry, and I have not done a video since I think last year. Anyway, I want to do a video about MERS and the latest information on it. And in fact, there was an article just the other day that said, could 62 million homes be foreclosure proof? A lot's been going on regarding MERS. In fact, there's been two class action lawsuits filed. One in California by the Hearn Hager firm that's out of Nevada, which is a firm that was trying to do a whole United States class action lawsuit for the homeowners directly against MERS in the non-foreclosure states. What they've now done is a class action lawsuit in California for the state of California. And there's one going on the exact same type um, of class action in Tennessee for the state of Tennessee. But they're both against MERS and their class actions. And I think that's a great way of starting because it seems like the other way just was not able to get off the ground. Those class actions, the one in Tennessee is sealed in the way of, it's a gag order. The judge it's not allowed to be discussed. There was some paperwork on it on the internet, which I had looked at, and then it's been wiped clean. And it is against MERS and the fact that for the states themselves, that MERS is a company that has gotten by from paying billions of dollars to states and counties for registration fees of when property is transferred from one mortgage company to another. There's normally registration transfer fees that have to be paid at the courthouse. That's been done in the past. But once MERS was formed, they got out of that. So they've not had to pay those fees. So this is on the basis of fees for the states. That's how it's starting, but there's also been a lot of judges ruling against MERS recently. I think I did one, I've done a MERS video, there were already, let's see, the Kansas Supreme Court, the Ohio, the New York judge that said, that ruled against MERS last year, that said all foreclosures even need to look at that happened in the past. Well, with the latest ruling that is in California that was on May the 20th, and it was actually in a bankruptcy case, but the judge's opinion on it, and I'm going to read what he said. Since no evidence of MERS ownership of the underlying note has been offered, and other courts have concluded that MERS does not own the underlying notes, the court is convinced that MERS had no interest it could transfer to Citibank. Citibank was trying to close. They were the mortgage holder. In the way of who they were paying, servicer, who they were paying the mortgage to. Since MERS did not own the underlying note, it could not transfer the beneficial interest of the deed of trust to another. Any attempt to transfer the beneficial interest of a trust deed without ownership of the underlying note is void under California law. Right there is the basis of what MERS, Mortgage Electronic Registration Service, is that there is no ownership of proof of ownership. MERS is just a shell. MERS, there is no absolute owner of MERS, and that's of the note, and that is why they have been losing, and it's fraud. MERS bundles all these mortgages, all the mortgage servicing companies and banks use them, and they compile the mortgages in bundles that they sell off, and one mortgage might be owned by 20 different bondholders. They split it, and that's where the problem has been, that people have been foreclosed on in the past, and then they get a notice a few months later of a company saying, you owe us this money because we actually owned the property. And it's like, I've already been foreclosed on. So it is, it's complete fraud. And the reason why I really want to get more information out there is because so many people are getting their houses foreclosed on. And if people stood up that's about to be foreclosed on and stand up and get a lawyer legally, there's a lot of states, and that's all you have to do is look for that legal aid. And basically, I believe every state has it, and every county has what you call legal aid. Look it up. Look up your state and look up in your county and find the legal aid where you can go and talk. It's free. The lawyers will help you. It's free. They do this. It's wonderful. This work that you can meet with them and they can look at your case and they can take it on um, at no charge. And so look at that. But what I think is important is that more homeowners stand up and fight their foreclosure. That MERS is the one trying to foreclose. Look on your deed of trust. When you closed on your house and bought it, you got a deed of trust. And right on the second page, it should say who is the owner of the deed. And that would say, and if it says MERS, then you're part of this. Fight it. And I think more people need to really start standing up. The more that stand up, some judges, I know when I've talked to lawyers, they say some judges, they know where the lawyers are going with it. They don't want to go there, and they say, we're not going there, and, you're getting foreclosed on. Because but there's no real legal basis for it, and they know that, but they don't want to acknowledge it. But some judges are standing up, a lot of them are, and saying, nope, MERS has no right. They are going by the law. And if you go by the law, then you can't, if a judge goes by the law, then you should not be foreclosed on. So I'm asking for people to stand up. Do not get foreclosed on. Anybody you know that's in trouble with their mortgage, ask them to stand up. Do not get foreclosed on. Fight it. The more people fight it, the more of a legal basis there is. There's more rulings against them to where it's overwhelming that if a judge who doesn't want to acknowledge it, who says, no, I don't want to go there, well, excuse me, judge, look at all these rulings. Look at all these cases that other judges have said there is a legal basis, because that's how, the courtrooms work. So much is that lawyers have to bring, well, this case of, docket, boom, 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 against, the judge showed the legal precedence of this was his ruling for this reason. So if there's a basis, if we could get a really good, solid basis going and stop the MERS, then the more of a basis of rulings against them, the more there's a possibility of getting big class actions going. So go to a legal aid. On this connection, the description of this video, I will be putting my blog, which there is a post there that has just a ton of links that goes to the latest information about the mortgage fraud, about the cases happening, all about MERS. Basically a great place to start. But please don't get foreclosed on. Spread this information around to everybody. And I think people taking steps and even going, hey, wait, I'm going to fight this MERS and I'm not in trouble right now. I think that's a great thing. So I hope this video helps. But there is a great article, as I said. It's also linked on, it'll be linked here where you can read it. And good luck, and nobody get foreclosed on. Let's stop all foreclosures.